Across Africa's spiritual landscape, a mysterious and awe-inspiring phenomenon endures: spirit possession. It is not fiction or theatrical spectacle but a sacred act in which divine beings temporarily inhabit the bodies of chosen individuals. These are not illusions but communal rituals where entire villages witness the sacred crossing of spiritual and physical realms. The central channel for this experience is the dance, a trance-inducing, rhythmic movement that acts as a spiritual key, unlocking portals to the invisible. In these moments, the human body becomes a vessel for gods, ancestors, and unseen forces. From the Yoruba of Nigeria to the Shona of Zimbabwe, from the Zulu of South Africa to the Fon of Benin, spirit possession plays a critical role in traditional African religions. While the pantheons and languages differ, the core belief remains the same: spirits can and do communicate through people. Possession ceremonies, whether for healing, prophecy, or ancestral reverence, are marked by hypnotic drumming, chants, and symbolic gestures. These are not chaotic displays but carefully structured rituals rooted in centuries of spiritual knowledge and cultural identity. It often begins with sound. A drumbeat pulses like the heartbeat of the gods. Chanting swells. The medium, chosen and prepared, enters a trance. They may convulse, cry out, or shift posture suddenly. Their eyes roll, their voice deepens, and a new presence emerges. The dancer is no longer acting of their own will, they are a vessel. A deity may bark commands, a trickster may speak in riddles, or a healer may diagnose spiritual illness. The community watches not with fear, but reverence. This is a divine visitation, a rare moment when the spiritual world speaks directly. To outsiders, these rituals may appear chaotic or even frightening. But to the initiated, they are moments of deep truth. Spirit possession is not about losing control, it's about becoming a bridge. Mediums are respected, even feared, for their ability to host divine forces. They are trained not just to surrender, but to safely channel the spirit and interpret its messages. These experiences are rich with meaning. The possessed often reveal secrets, resolve disputes, or restore communal balance. It is spirituality in motion, ritual as revelation. As we begin this journey into the sacred dance of divine spirits, remember, this is not an extinct tradition. It thrives across Africa and in the diaspora, from Haitian Vodou to Brazilian Candomblé. Colonization, religion, and modern skepticism have not erased it. Instead, spirit possession adapts, evolves, and continues to be a source of healing, identity, and power. In these sacred ceremonies, the line between heaven and earth dissolves. The spirits are still dancing, and they have much to say. In African spirituality, dance is not just movement, it is a spiritual language. It speaks to the gods, the ancestors, and the unseen forces that shape the universe. It is through dance that the spiritual world is summoned, embraced, and embodied. When the drums begin to speak and the chants rise like smoke into the heavens, the air changes. The sacred dance begins, not for spectacle, but for connection. It is a key that unlocks the gates between the physical and metaphysical, allowing the spirit world to pour into the human realm. In this dance, the ordinary body becomes an extraordinary vessel. The dance is not random. Each movement, each stomp, spin, or sway is rooted in centuries of ritual knowledge. Among the Yoruba, each Orisha, deity, has its unique rhythm and dance. The god Shango, Lord of Thunder, possesses his followers through powerful, sharp motions mimicking lightning strikes. Oshun, goddess of rivers and beauty, dances with grace, drawing her medium into gentle waves and flowing curves. These movements are not mimicry, they are invitations, shaping the medium's body to welcome the spirit. It is said the spirit only comes when it recognizes its rhythm, when the body moves like it remembers the gods. The drummers are not simply musicians, they are spiritual guides. The drumbeat must match the energy of the spirit being invoked. Faster rhythms may summon warrior spirits, slower, deliberate beats may call forth ancestors or nature deities. As the rhythm intensifies, so too does the trance. The medium begins to shake, spin, or fall into stillness. The moment possession occurs is unmistakable, the spirit has arrived. The dance shifts, now controlled by the divine presence. The medium's body is no longer their own, it is being moved from within. This trance-like state is not unconsciousness, it is deep spiritual presence. The medium remains aware but is overtaken by something far greater. In some traditions, like among the Hausa Bori cult, the spirits have distinct personalities and preferences. They may request food, music, or attention during the possession. The dancer, now animated by this force, may speak in unknown tongues, diagnose illnesses, or bless the community. The dance becomes sacred theater, where the divine expresses itself through the human form. It is both intimate and cosmic, an ancient conversation between flesh and spirit. What makes this so profound is its communal nature. The possession is never private. The entire community is drawn into the moment, through song, clap, drum, and chant. Children watch in wonder. Elders nod in recognition. Priests, drummers, and onlookers participate in the spiritual choreography, forming a circle of energy around the medium. The sacred dance is a collective ritual that reaffirms the community's bond with the spiritual world. It is the heartbeat of a people's identity, their healing, and their hope. And as long as there are dancers, drums, and belief, the divine will continue to descend. In African spiritual traditions, the medium is the sacred vessel through which divine spirits manifest. Chosen not by chance, but by spiritual calling, the medium is believed to possess a unique sensitivity to the unseen forces of the universe. The selection process is guided by spiritual leaders and community members who recognize the medium's potential through visions, tests, and intuitive knowledge. Becoming a medium is seen as a spiritual honor, a responsibility to channel the gods, ancestors, and spirits for the benefit of the community. Once chosen, the medium undergoes intense training to master the sacred dances, chants, and rituals associated with the spirits they will channel. This process often spans years, as mediums learn to embody the unique qualities of each spirit, whether they are gods of war, fertility, or wisdom. The medium's body is prepared to serve as a host for multiple spirits, each with its own personality and demands. This training requires discipline, as the medium must learn to manage both the physical and spiritual challenges of possession, maintaining control over their body while hosting divine forces. During a ritual, the medium enters a trance-like state as the spirit begins to take control. The transformation is dramatic. What starts as a simple tremor can quickly escalate to full possession. As the rhythm of the drums and chants intensify, the medium surrenders to the spirit's will. In these moments, the medium becomes an instrument of the divine. Their movements shift, and their voice deepens, often speaking in unknown languages or dialects. The spirit expresses its will through the medium, revealing messages, prophecies, or guidance for the community. The medium's body becomes the channel for divine communication. Each spirit manifests differently. A warrior spirit might prompt the medium to adopt aggressive postures, speak of battle, and issue commands. A healing spirit may move the medium to gently sway or offer soothing words. These manifestations are not random, they are deeply rooted in the spirit's essence, and the medium's task is to serve as an authentic representation of that energy. In this way, the medium does not control the spirit, but rather opens themselves to allow the spirit to express its messages freely. The medium's role is sacred. They are not simply passive vessels, but active collaborators. They surrender their body and will to the divine forces, trusting that the spirit will guide them. The community recognizes the medium's role with deep respect, understanding that through them, the gods and ancestors communicate directly with the living. The medium's power is not for personal gain but to serve the divine and the community, becoming a conduit for spiritual healing, wisdom, and balance. Through the medium, the spirit world continues to speak, offering guidance, comfort, and prophecy. Spirit possession is not only a means of divine communication, it serves as a powerful tool for healing and transformation within African communities. The process of possession is seen as a sacred act that restores spiritual balance, addresses physical ailments, and resolves emotional or societal conflicts. In many African cultures, it is believed that illness, misfortune, and personal struggles are manifestations of spiritual disarray. Possession ceremonies, where the medium channels the divine, provide a means of addressing these issues by reconnecting individuals and communities with the spiritual realm. When a person falls ill or is suffering emotionally, the community may turn to a medium to mediate between them and the spirits. The medium enters a trance, becoming the vessel for a spirit, often one with healing properties. Healing spirits are invoked to diagnose and treat spiritual illness, which is seen as the root cause of physical suffering. The medium, now possessed, may speak directly to the afflicted individual, diagnosing their ailment and offering spiritual remedies. These remedies could involve specific rituals, prayers, or sacrifices, all intended to restore the person's spiritual equilibrium and, by extension, their physical health. Beyond individual healing, possession ceremonies serve to address broader communal issues. Spirits are believed to bring justice, resolve conflicts, and guide the community toward harmony. In some cases, a warrior spirit may be called upon to restore order when disputes arise or when a community is facing external threats. The medium, under the spirit's influence, may issue commands, offer advice, or declare a course of action. In these moments, the community witnesses the spirit's intervention, which often leads to the resolution of problems, both personal and collective. The power of the spirit is seen as an authoritative force capable of transforming society. Spirit possession also plays a critical role in reinforcing cultural identity. The rituals surrounding possession are a celebration of ancestral ties and communal values. When the medium becomes a vessel for spirits, they are not only invoking divine powers but also upholding traditions that have been passed down through generations. These ceremonies are a means of affirming the community's beliefs and cultural practices, keeping ancestral wisdom alive. The presence of the spirit is a reminder of the continuity of life, death, and rebirth, and it reinforces the sense of belonging to something much greater than the self. Moreover, spirit possession is a communal act that strengthens bonds within the society. The entire community participates, whether by dancing, singing, or offering prayers. This collective involvement fosters a deep sense of unity and shared purpose. Through the medium's connection to the divine, individuals find not only personal healing but also a sense of belonging and continuity within their cultural heritage. The Ritu Al brings the community together to reaffirm their identity, their spirituality, and their connection to the ancestors. In this way, possession ceremonies become much more than a form of spiritual practice. They are a vital thread that weaves together the fabric of African identity and resilience. In essence, spirit possession is a powerful ritual that addresses the needs of the individual, the community, and the culture. It is a transformative experience that restores balance, heals wounds, and reinforces shared values. Through the medium, the divine intervenes in tangible ways, ensuring that the community remains spiritually and culturally intact, even in the face of adversity. The sacred dance of possession continues to serve as a vital force, guiding the living and honoring the wisdom of the ancestors. While African spirit possession is deeply rooted in the continent's traditions, its influence has transcended borders, spreading to regions across the globe. Through the African diaspora, many spiritual practices based on spirit possession were carried to the Americas, the Caribbean, and beyond, where they were preserved, adapted, and evolved into new forms of spiritual expression. Despite the impact of colonization, slavery, and religious suppression, African spiritual practices, especially those centered around spirit possession, continue to thrive in various forms, revealing the profound and lasting legacy of African religious traditions. In the Caribbean, the Vodou tradition of Haiti offers a striking example of how African spirit possession rituals were preserved and transformed. Vodou is a synthesis of West African beliefs, particularly from the Yoruba, Fon, and Yu peoples, combined with elements of Roman Catholicism. Central to Vodou is the possession of mediums by Lwa, or spirits, similar to the Orisha worship of the Yoruba. The medium enters a trance, and the Lwa takes control, offering guidance, healing, and protection to the community. The rituals, which involve drumming, dancing, and chanting, bear a striking resemblance to African practices, illustrating the enduring connection to African spiritual roots. Similarly, in Cuba, the religion of Santeria arose, blending Yoruba beliefs with elements of Catholicism, and also revolves around spirit possession. The Orisha, the gods and deities of the Yoruba, are honored in Santeria, with mediums known as Santeros or Santeras becoming vessels for these deities. Possession in Santeria is seen as a form of spiritual healing and guidance, much like in African traditions. The drumming and dancing rituals in Santeria are nearly identical to those in African spiritual practices, serving as a constant reminder of the strength of African traditions in the face of displacement and adversity. In Brazil, the Afro-Brazilian religion of Candomblé also draws heavily from African roots, particularly from Yoruba, Fon, and Bantu traditions. Candomblé practitioners honor orishas, much like in Yoruba spirituality, and spirit possession is central to their rituals. During ceremonies, mediums enter trance states as they become vessels for the orishas. This process of possession, involving dance, song, and intense rhythms, is intended to heal, guide, and protect. Like their counterparts in Haiti and Cuba, Candomblé practitioners use spirit possession to invoke the divine and channel ancestral wisdom, ensuring that African spiritual practices remain vibrant and relevant in the modern world. In addition to these well-known religious movements, African spirit possession rituals have influenced other spiritual practices globally. African American spirituality, especially in the southern United States, is deeply tied to African heritage. Black spirituals, gospel music, and the Pentecostal church incorporate elements of spirit possession through trance-like states, dancing, and speaking in tongues. These practices, though distinct in form, bear echoes of African traditions, with an emphasis on direct communion with the divine through the physical body and movement. The global spread of African spirit possession practices has not only contributed to the spiritual landscapes of the Americas but has also shaped modern understandings of spirituality and healing. These traditions emphasize the belief that the spiritual and physical realms are interconnected, and that the body can serve as a vessel for divine communication and transformation. The resilience of these practices, adapted but never forgotten, demonstrates the enduring legacy of African spiritual systems, which continue to offer a deep and profound connection to the divine, even across continents and centuries. Spirit possession, born from the sacred dances of Africa, continues to thrive in the most unexpected places, from the streets of Havana to the hills of Brazil, and within the churches of Black America. It stands as a testament to the power of cultural survival, transformation, and the global reach of African spirituality. As African spiritual practices continue to evolve, their roots remain firmly planted in the ancient tradition of spirit possession, ensuring that the connection to the divine remains strong, vibrant, and enduring. The sacred dance of spirit possession transcends borders and time, remaining a vital force in African spirituality and its global descendants. It is a profound reminder of the enduring connection between humanity and the divine. If you found this exploration of African spirit possession fascinating, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.